Good evening, friends. Binotuni. Welcome to our online broadcast here from the London Mindfulness Meditation Center. If you have been joining us daily, you would know that we have gone online since the full moon day of July, especially with the rains retreat beginning in the Theravada countries, where monks retreat and commit themselves for the well-being, as well as the devotees commit themselves for their spiritual development, enhancing their paramita and taking it an opportunity to engage in religious worship or even deepen their practice. So we provide that opportunity, and therefore devotees have been committing themselves, sponsoring puja and engaging in religious worship, as well as deepening their practice. Our series of Pinkamas or this religious observance will end with our robe offering ceremony on the 29th of October. So please keep the date free for your participation. Today the puja is sponsored by Mr. Anil and Mrs. Chan Malwarachi and children Chamesh and Chamisha. They're all present here at the Vihara. And have offered the offerings to the Buddha, and the intention is to bless everyone in the family with good health and happiness. May all their righteous aspirations be fulfilled. May they be blessed with good health and happiness throughout. And today Chamesh is celebrating his birthday, so we from the London Mindfulness Meditation Center and the congregation would like to wish him a very happy birthday. May you be blessed by the virtues of the Triple Gem. May you always stay healthy, and may all your righteous aspirations be fulfilled. So with such intention, we begin our worship. Let us begin our worship by observing precepts. Please say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Pāṇātipātā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi. Adinādānā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi. Kāmesu miccācārā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi. Musāvādā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi. Surāmēraya majjapamā daṭṭhānā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi. Tisaraṇena saddhiṃ pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ sādhukaṃ surakkhitāṃ kattvā apamādena sampādetabbhaṃ. Let us worship the Buddha together. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhammasārati sattha deva manassanang buddho bhagavati Buddhaṃ jīvita pariyantaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Svakkhāto bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akāliko ehi passiko opanayiko Paccattaṃ veditabbo viññuhiti Dhammaṃ jīvita pariyantaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho Ujjapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho Ñāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho Samīcipatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho Yadidang cattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala esa bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakkineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttaraṃ puññakkhetaṃ lokassāti Saṅghaṃ jīvita pariyantaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Kanasārappadittena dīpena tamadhaṃ Tilokadīpaṃ sambuddhaṃ pujayāmi tamonudaṃ Vannagandha gunopetaṃ etaṃ santatiṃ pujayāmi munindassa siripada saroruhe Pujemi buddhaṃ kusumena nena puññena metena ca hotu mokkhaṃ Pupaṃ milayati yatāi dhamme kāyo tatāyati vināsa bhāvaṃ Adhivāsetu no bhante Pāniyaṃ parikappitaṃ anukampaṃ upadāya patiganhātu uttama adhivāsetu no bhante gilāna paccayaṃ imaṃ anukampaṃ upadāya patiganhātu uttama adhivāsetu no bhante pesajjaṃ parikappitaṃ anukampaṃ upadāya patiganhātu uttama Adivasetu no bhante sabbang saddhaya pujitang anukampang upadaya patigannhatu uttame vandami cetiyang sabbang sabbetani supatititang saririka dhatu mahabodhing buddha rupang sakalang sada yassa mule nisennove sabbari vijayang aka patto sabbanyutang satta vande tang bodhipadapang ime ete mahabodhi lokanatena pujita aham pite namassami bodhiraja namattute kayena vaca cittena pamadene maya katang acayang kamame bante buri panye tathagata kayena vaca cittene pamadene maya katang acayang kamame dhamme sanditthika akalika kayena vaca cittene pamadene maya katang acayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara ettavata camhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya ettavata camhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya ettavata camhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idamme ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo idamme ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo idamme ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo imina punya kammene mami bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya idamme punyang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu sadhu. So now we are going to chant the Metta Sutta and Jai Paritta, wishing you all with good health and happiness. And we also take the opportunity to bless your loved ones, and if you have anyone in your thoughts, we wish you every good health, happiness. We wish them that may all the treatment they are taking or being given be successful for their recovery and well-being. So if you are dedicating it to someone, please do share our link at this stage so that they can listen to the chanting live. If not, you can share it later on as well. We also bless our sponsors, Mr. and Mrs. Mallavarachi and their children, who have sponsored the Puja May the family be blessed with good health and happiness. May all their righteous aspirations be fulfilled. And we also bless Chamesh, who is celebrating his birthday today. May this day bring every happiness, and may the days in future also bring every happiness and good health. So may all his righteous aspirations be fulfilled. With such righteous intention, we begin our chanting. So please join me in the chanting if you know. If not, listen to the chanting with great attention and respect. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Saggamokkhadang Paritta Savana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Paritta Savana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Paritta Dhammadesana kalu ayang bhadanta. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Karaniya mattha kusalena yantang santang padang abhisamecca. Sakko uju ca suju ca suvaco cassa mudvanatimani. Santussako ca subharo ca appakicco ca sallahuka butti. Santindriyo ca nipako ca appagabho kulesu ananugiddho. Naca khuddang samacare kinci yena vinyo pare upavadeyung. Sukhino vakemino hontu sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Ye kecipana bhutatti tasavataha varava anavasesa. Digava ye mahantava majjhima rassa kanukatula. Dittava yeva additta ye ca dure vasanti avidure. Putava sambhave siva sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Naparo parang nikabbeta nati manyeta katta cinang kanci. Vyarosana patiga sanya nanya manyasya dukkhamicchaya. Mata yatha niyang puttang ayusa eka putta manurakhe. Evampi sabba bhutesu manasang bhavaye aparimanang. Mettan ca sabba lokasming manasang bhavaye aparimanang. Uddhang adho ca tiriyan ca asang badhang averang asapattang. Titthan charang nisinno va sayano va yavatassa vigatamiddho. Etang sating aditteya brahmametang viharang idhamaho. Ditthinca anupagamma silava dassanena sampanno. Kamesu vineyya gedang nahi jatu gabbaseyang punareti. Etena sacca vajjena dukkhavupasamentutte. Etena sacca vajjena bhayavupasamentute. Etena sacca vajjena roga upasamintu te. Siriditi mati tejo jaya siddhi mahiddhi mahagunang aparimita punyadikarassa sabbantaraya nivarana samattasya bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dvatting samaha purisa lakkananubhavene asityanu vyanjana lakkananubhavene attuttara satamangala lakkananubhavene chabbanarang syanubhavene ketumalanubhavene dasaparamitanubhavene dasapaparamittanubhavene dasaparamatta paramitanubhavene sila samadhi pannyanubhavene buddhanubhavene dhammanubhavene sanghanubhavene tejanubhavene idyanubhavene balanubhavene nyaya dhammanubhavene chaturasiti sahassa dhammakkandanubhavene navalokuttara dhammanubhavene attangika magganubhavene atta samapatyanubhavene chalabinyanubhavene metta karuna mudita upekkanubhavene sabba paramitanubhavene ratanataya sarananubhavene tvihang sabba roga soka upandava dukkha domanasupayasa vinassantu sabba sankappa tvihang samijjantu dīgāyuko hotu satavassa jīvena samangiko hotu sambada ākāsa pambata vana bhūmi tatāka ganga mahasamudda ārakkaka devata sada tumhe anurakkantu sabba buddhanubhavene sabba dhammanubhavene sabba sanghanubhavene buddharatanang dhammaratanang sangharatanang tinnang ratananang anubhavene chaturasiti sahassa dhammakkandanubhavene pitakattayanubhavene jinasavakanubhavene sabbete roga sabbete bhaya sabbete antaraya sabbete upandava sabbete dunnimitta sabbete avamangala vinassantu ආයු වඩ්ඩකෝ ධන වඩ්ඩකෝ සිරි වඩ්ඩකෝ යස වඩ්ඩකෝ බල වඩ්ඩකෝ වන්න වඩ්ඩකෝ සුඛ වඩ්ඩකෝ හෝතු සම්බදා දුක්ඛ රෝග භය වේරා ශෝක සබ්බේ පද්දවා අනේක අන්තරායාපි විනස්සන්තු ච තේජසා ජය සිද්ධි ධනං ලාභං සොත්ති භාග්‍යං සුඛං බලං සිරියායු ච වන්නෝ ච භෝගං බුද්ධි ච යසවා සතවස්සා ච ආයු ච ජීව සිද්ධි භවන්තු තේ දේවෝ වස්සතු කාලේන සස්ස සම්පත්ති හේතු ච पीतो भवतु लोको च राजा भवतु धम्मिको आकाशट्टः च बुम्मट्टः देवानागा महिद्दिका पुण्यन्तं अनुमोदित्वा Chirang rakkantu loka sasanang Akasattha ca bhummattha Deva naga mahiddhika Punyantang anumoditva Chirang rakkantu Dhammadesanang Akasattha ca bhummattha Deva naga mahiddhika Punyantang anumoditva Chirang rakkantu mang paranti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May the blessings of the Buddha, may the compassion of the Buddha embodied in the chantings be conducive for your well-being and happiness. And if you had dedicated it to someone, we wish them speedy recovery. May all the treatment they are being given or taking be successful for their recovery. May they soon be able to enjoy good health. And we bless you and your loved ones as well with good health and happiness during this time of uncertainty. We also bless and dedicate this to our sponsors who have enabled this program for you today. May the family also be blessed with good health and happiness. May all their righteous aspirations be fulfilled, and may also Chamesh, who is celebrating his birthday, be well, happy and peaceful. May all his righteous aspirations be fulfilled. May he be blessed with good health, as well as may he have very bright and successful future. And also the Chamisha, who is also being blessed, the family, the parents would like to bless her for a successful future as well. So with such righteous intention, we say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So it is time for meditation. So if you are comfortable in the way you are sitting, feel free to stay as you are. If not, adjust yourself for a while. If you have just joined us, we go live every day at 6:30, sharing with you our worship, chanting and meditation, as well as a short series of continued Dhamma reflection. So after our chanting, we do brief meditation. So sit comfortably, upright back and eyes gently closed. So once you have composed yourself, be determined that you are not going to move for the next few minutes. If you do need adjusting, please do so, and simply stay still without focusing on anything else. Just practice the stillness for a while. Now observe that calmness in your body and the stillness in your body. You can scan from head to toe, observing how your body is posed at this very moment, at this very present time, how your body is composed. Straight body, straight back, balanced, arms hanging from your shoulders, right hand on your left palm, otherwise observe the way it is. Since you are sitting down, body is bent at the hips and knees, and feet firm on the floor if you're sitting on a chair or sofa. Otherwise, your side of your legs touching the floor if you're sitting cross-legged. This time you can do the scanning yourself quickly. Just observe the way the body is without any judgment. Don't stay at any place without judgment. Observe the posture. Now be mindful of your surrounding. If there are any family members, take a note of them, appreciate their support. Otherwise, just observe your surrounding, being mindful of where you are at your home. Coming back to your body again, this time observe the statue-like body, no movement, nothing. And observe the mind as well. It's still, you're not planning something, you're not thinking about something, your mind is not looking for something. That stillness of the mind, that calmness of the mind is testimony to your determination, your commitment as well. So we continue to stay still for a while in the mind as well, simply by mindfully breathing, so that you don't distract or think of something else. So pay attention to your breath. Just be like the guard, observing who is coming in and who is leaving the door or house. Mindfully observe the breathing taking place. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Just be with that flow of breath as it happens, without any judgment, without any force. Let it happen naturally and be with it. With that peace of mind, now think about the word metta, loving kindness. It's a genuine well-being attitude that we develop. In the past, we've been focusing on how metta is the foundation for all well-being. It serves a great purpose, and it becomes a source of happiness for you, for your loved ones, for those that you associate with. Where there is metta, there will be no judgment. We learn how to accept everyone. Where there is metta, there is no seeking of expectations or laying out conditions. When you lay out conditions, lots of things become contractual. So your loving thoughts are never conditional. It should be open to everyone, to yourself, to your loved ones, even to those who you do not know. Because it is unconditional, we learn how to accept each other, so there is no impatience, there is no jealousy, there is no ill will, there is no dissatisfaction at all, because there's nothing that will hurt you. If we change our behavior and way of thinking and peace of mind because of another person's behavior, we need to learn how to improve and develop in metta. As much as you do not think of harming others, you should not also let other people's way of thinking, acting, affect you. There are challenging moments, but we develop the courage to understand who they are and not let that affect you. So where there is metta, there is happiness, there is tolerance, there is peace within. You do not develop dissatisfaction, pain, or frustration because of something else, someone else. Similarly, you also learn how to change the way we talk, the way we speak, the way we listen, the way we see things. Where there is metta, there is warmth, there is happiness. So these lines are simply to support your basic practice, but beyond the sitting, we can learn how to transform our ways of interacting with people out of kindness, out of love, out of compassion, and making that the base for joy. There is no judgment, there is happiness. So follow these lines. Usually we take into consideration perhaps one thing that you wish yourself or others to relieve from, and something that you perhaps would want to progress in, such as good health. So when we recall few of our family friends, we don't recall those who have passed away, but few with their smile and happy faces, so that you can develop metta in its full context. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May I be blessed with good health. May no harm come to me. May no problems come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May I always meet with success May I also have the patience, courage, and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May I be free from pain and suffering. So bring few of these associations to your thought. Could be your parents, grandparents, uncles and aunts. If you're married, could be a husband, wife, a partner, brothers, sisters, in-laws, children, grandchildren, friends, colleagues at work, could be neighbors. So take a few, bring some to your thoughts. May they all be well, happy and peaceful. May they all be blessed with good health. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from pain and suffering. May all living beings be well, happy and peaceful. May all living beings be free from pain and suffering. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May I be free from pain and suffering. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So if you have been following us, we have been reflecting on the first sermon of the Buddha, bit by bit. And we focused on right effort yesterday to begin with. So we have focused on what is right view, and with that how we develop right intention. The intention to renounce ourselves from the thoughts of being harmful, for example, and also the ability to renounce from your basic perhaps greed or even anger. So that is quite linked to this effort as well. With that understanding, we developed how it becomes a great base for our spiritual practice, starting from morality. So how we speak, how we interact, especially with our precepts. So right words, right speech. Where there is no loving kindness, where there is an emphasis on pursuing or feeding your greed, hatred and ignorance, they tend to be the breaking of precepts and therefore not following Samma Vacha and Samma Kammanta. And as I mentioned a few days ago, even right livelihood, the base of basic source of income for household life, was not forgotten to be added to the Eightfold Path. So you can see how engaging in a source of income or having a balanced way of life, which again would not actually, anything that does not support the development of greed, hatred and ignorance, or the pursuit of those, would be seen as right livelihood. So with that base as morality, then only one is able to develop some form of mental development. So mental development is, we need some effort, and that is what we focused briefly yesterday. So right effort is quite important, because physically perhaps we are able to work on things, but although we can physically control ourselves sometimes depending on our personality, what goes through your mind would be quite difficult. So it is, for mental development, right effort is quite important. The Buddha can only show us the path. It is us, ourselves, who need to trot the path, and therefore we need that bit of energy within. Yesterday we focused on the word papakanang, and today I want to focus on the word akusalanang. So, idhauso bhikkhave anuparnanang papakanang akusalanang dhammanang anupadaya. So we spoke about 4 types of energy. The energy as such that anything that you have done wrong, we need to develop the courage to not repeat. So to prevent, to abandon those things. And papa mean be evil or even sinful acts. Anything that you have not done, make sure you actually stop the committing of it. If you haven't done something wrong, never ever do it. And that is where it links to the morality section that we spoke about earlier, about precepts and so and so. Then we looked at how if there are good things that you have not done, you need to start initiating or kickstart them. Try to do something good. And then if you have been doing something good, make sure you learn how to continue that. Never give ease to, or never procrastinate from doing something good. So today, as I said, I'll focus briefly for about 5-7 minutes on akusalana. So we have been focusing on this, what is unskillful. So akusalana means something that is unskillful. And the effort should also be as such. Now we are looking about, as I said earlier, it is about this state of mind. So unwholesome states of mind, which we all know would be lobha, dosa, moha, greed, hatred and ignorance. Now out of these, obviously this is what actually initiates us even to work on the precepts. Like if you want to harm someone, if you want to steal, for example, we can see that there is greed and or there is hatred, ill will, jealousy, all triggering the actions that you might do or even the things that you might say. So in terms of unskillful, so where there is this nurturing of, or where there is this feeding the fires of greed, hatred, there is always some form of judgment that actually makes us hold on to certain views. So when we hold on to certain views, we develop unskillful, we develop comparison skills, which then leads us to unskillful moments. So for example, I remember referring to even perhaps the food that we eat. Are you eating the food because of greed? Do you show any forms of dislikes? Do you develop ego from or personality from the status of the food, the type of food that you eat? So there is, if we are nurturing greed by even eating our basic need, which is to survive and feed ourselves, then that way of thinking is sometimes quite unskillful. So unskillful thinking. Some people even use, we don't shop in that particular shop. So again, from the basic need, we have developed ego, we have fed a dislike or like, and we have actually deluded ourselves gravely, and we hold on to those views, which then continuously make us feed our likes and dislikes, in this case, craving and ill will. So when it comes into spiritual side, the deep within, what is it that is actually that we have to lay out our effort into? And I will touch that for a few minutes before we come to the close. So what is it that we need to look into? So we need to look into the fact that what is it that is stopping you from progressing in spiritual life? And this is quite important, especially when you look at the akusalanang dhammanang, the unwholesome states. So what is stopping? So we basically know what we call 5 hindrances: kama chanda. So because of our craving or because of our desires, we pursue happiness through our senses. So kama chanda, and it is not about being with what it is, but it is about pursuing the necessity or the desires that we actually look for from those senses. So sensual desire, sometimes obviously because we do know that we try to see things we like. We try to always want things that we please in hearing. Sometimes the taste, the touch. Sometimes we have craving for pleasures such as from wealth, power, fame, positions. And these are something that we really, really deeply indulge ourselves, and then we create problems sometimes. So it then again makes it's like a catch-22. You cannot get out of it. You actually are always into it. And if you know that something is actually helping you, or it's actually promoting you to feed this craving or sensual desires or lobha, maybe that is a barrier for spiritual development. So we have to be mindful of that, and therefore akusalanang dhammanang anupadaya, not to make it arise within you. If you know, but now it is not telling us that don't look at things. It is telling us is don't hate looking at things as well. So don't dislike looking at things, neither don't like looking at things. So we see a flower and we learn to, if we reject a flower, like for example the flower behind me, it is because you have had an ideal and you have experienced, and you actually hold on to an ideal form of flower, and when we compare, we might show forms of dislike. And that is what we are trying to say here, that is unskillful. It is not running away from things, but learning how to be mindful so that the undesired or desired does not affect you. So we learn how to look at things as they are. And therefore, the unwholesome states will not arise, therefore. And being mindful of that is quite important. Being mindful of that. Lots of us actually treasure something that we like more, and we continue to pursue looking and increasing on that. So maybe you would like to eat a piece of chocolate, and we continue eating, or we like to watch something, we don't actually see that it is food, or we don't see that it is something that you are watching. So but you are actually unconsciously feeding that desire. And therefore, when we unconsciously do that, if it turns into be a habitual pattern, then it becomes a hindrance, not letting you progress in anything, not letting you even look into that roots of problems. So the second hindrance is ill will, like aversion or hatred, anger, dissatisfaction, dislike. And we sometimes live by it because of the conceit within us. We always learn, we always compare, and we don't stop there. And we sometimes start complaining about it. And we always try to find happiness through victimization, pointing fingers. Either you blame yourself or blame others. And there is always this form of dissatisfaction, aversion, ill will, hatred rumbling within us. And that is definitely a root that actually keeps us in anger zone or red zone. And we never progress, and that becomes a barrier from seeing things clearly. And therefore, akusalanang dhammanang anupadaya. So we need to actually develop those righteous skill, that right effort to make sure that we do not allow those to dominate us unconsciously. And therefore, if you are mindful, you can see something even if you don't like. You can hear something even if you don't like. You can taste something even if you don't like, rather than developing the dislike and always pointing fingers or complaining about it. So the food that you eat is simply the food. we are not eating. So if you say that one food, you say, for example, you are eating a dish, and when you actually eat the dish as it is, or do you add something more to it like a sauce, you are literally eating the sauce in the end, not the dish. So literally like that, you are feeding your dislike and you are then converting that into a different form of living. So that is quite unskillful. So even just with the first 2 of the 5 hindrances, we can see that these unwholesome states, the roots are always within sometimes. We can't blame the flower to have triggered something within. You can't blame an incident to have triggered something within. What arises in you is your responsibility. But what we do is we sometimes just blame others. So if there are things that you don't like, rather than actually seeing with hate, maybe you just learn how to see as it is, and with that, these unskillful, unarising, unwholesome states will not arise within yourself. So develop that skill and make sure we develop that effort to actually look into this and look into that spiritual practice gradually. So we'll discuss about the next few elements of right effort tomorrow. We'll continue with that discussion, but it is just reminder, in essence, what it is. Just simply, if you have been doing something wrong, learn how to abandon it. If you haven't done something wrong, never ever do it. If you have done something good, continue with it. If you have not done something good, learn how to kickstart or initiate some practice to actually do something. Even thinking about it, I want to do it or I need to do it, would be a good perhaps start. So we'll come back to how to remove the errors for tomorrow. So today we discuss how to stop the unwholesome states from arising within. So tomorrow we'll focus on, if you have some unwholesome states arising already within you, we'll look at how we develop those skills to remove them tomorrow. So do join us again tomorrow at 6:30 when you go live. So today, as Punya Anumodana, I'd like to just recall what we have been doing so far. We've observed precepts, we've made offerings to the Buddha, we worship the Buddha chanting the virtues of the triple gem and made offerings as well. We chanted suttas blessing everyone. We did bhavana, and we listened to a short reflection on how to get rid of, how to stop unskillful thoughts arising within us by being mindful. May all merit accumulated by engaging in this dana, sila, bhavana, the 3 wholesome acts. May the merit accumulated be conducive for your well-being and happiness. May the merit accumulated also be conducive with the well-being of our sponsors and happiness of our sponsors. May the whole family, Mr. Anil Malavarchi, Mrs. Chan Malavarchi, Chamesh Malavarchi, and Chamisha Malavarchi, may all family members be blessed with good health. May all their righteous aspirations be fulfilled. May happiness prevail throughout in the family, and may the future of the children be successful. So with such intention we say sadhu 3 times to do punya anumodana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So until tomorrow, enjoy the rest of the evening, stay safe, take care, have a very good evening and good night. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.